Cheers and welcome my friends, I'm Horath and we are playing Tyranny as a noble mage. Welcome back. In the last episode we meted out some justice to one who had taken the commander of the disfavored hostage, and then to a merchant over here who had been looting and selling back his loot to the disfavored legion. And then we had a heart-to-heart with Verse, who was asking about our job while we're here, and now we're ready to go into the disfavored camp, I think. Who do we have here? Step close and present yourself. Come on, dude. The gate guard holds up a warning hand. Go no farther. You approach disfavored ground. State your business. I'm Horath Drak, Fatebinder of Tunon. I bring words from Kairos, words for your commander's ears. I could also glare silently. I always like that when I see that. You can see that we're 85% towards a favor with the disfavored, which is sort of an oxymoron, I think. Well, no, you can have favor with someone who's disfavored by someone else. Yeah, I'm Horath Drak. We're a polite person. Ah, so you're the fire starter. That relates to a conquest decision where we used an edict to destroy a library. An Edict of Kairos. Edicts are basically very, very powerful spells, as you can see over here. Kairos' most powerful magic is that of the Edict commandments cast upon whole regions that can control and destroy man and nature alike. Anything else? No. So, Sevius and the companies returning from the burning library are telling some harrowing stories about Kairos' Edict of Fire. I think myself brave, but I'm happy to have been far away from it all. It must have been a terrifying honor to be the messenger of such righteous force. And that's how these guys see themselves. They aren't evil. They're just righteous and bringing order to these lands and so forth. Go in. The soldier gestures towards the gate. The Archons are awaiting you, expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent, center of camp. And I think we'll do that right away. I don't think I'm gonna linger. I got a job to do. We're gonna have a look at the camp later, I think.
Sorry, I can't.
What?
Have a look here.
What's that? Hidden objects. You've discovered a hidden object. Many areas of Territories have hidden traps or chests. When discovered, these objects will highlight for all of your party to see. Enable scouting mode by pressing L or left Alt to make finding these hidden objects easier. Okay, let's loot it now that we found it. We gain an agate and a topaz. That's nice. Yeah, why not? Let's get inside the tent. Yesterday you chided me for wishing to wait. Now you suggest an even longer delay. Perhaps the voices in your skull ought to come to a consensus if you wish to be taken seriously. Good advice is flexible, changing with the moment. Besides, now we're agreeing with yesterday today you should be happy. We know you hate going into battle without overwhelming odds on your side. If you're so terrified of a challenge, why not wait for your reinforcements? I don't need your heckling. I need your scouting reports, or better yet, confirmation you quelled the Oathbreakers in the Outer Valley. Oh that, we will solve it on our own time and way. We must make at least a token effort to show them mercy, after all. Mercy? They've already shed upon our mercy once before. These gutterborn South Knobs deserve nothing better than death. Oh, calm down, we must leave something to rule. Or have you forgotten Kairos' orders? Patience, old chum! So these guys are hard at it. I'm just gonna go for a little quick save over here. And then we're gonna go in and maybe join the conversation.
There's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
Okay, the Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with. His profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. You hear the voices in your head. Well, hello there, Fatebinder. We'll be with you in just a moment. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Worse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. Okay, I'm just gonna let them bicker a little bit, remain silent.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guest speak.
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
You can feel that the voice actor is really into it. I like it. The Archon of Secrets twirls his scepter in a twisting loop, his leather-wrapped hands flipping the heavy rod with an effortless flow. You hear the voices in your head. Can you hear us, Fatebinder? Cough if we have your attention. Still gonna remain silent.
And I thought you had left agents within these Tearsmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his weight on his war maul as blue luminescence crackles around his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tears, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
The voices of Nera tosses his scepter into the air, catching it as it descends back down. You hear the voices in your head. Hello, Fatebinder. We know you can hear us. Now you know, we know you know. Come on, these meetings with Ash are so boring. Cough if we have your attention. Should I cough though? No, it's not really my thing. Just let them talk.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home.
Oh, Ash, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tearsmen, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
Siren is the Archon of Song and the youngest Archon sent to conquer the Tears. Young and inexperienced, Siren is sworn to the voices of Nerat, who uses her powers of charm and manipulation to swell the ranks of the Scarlet Chorus with volunteers. The Archon flips his scepter 3 times around, humming gleefully. You hear the voices in your head. Suit yourself, Fatebinder. The more you ignore us. Hold your tongue. I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren. The commander's hand moves to the hilt of her blade. Though the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for a head. They bicker like children, do they not? The fifth eye's grating tenor pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the Crimson Spear. I meant only to say, welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. The armored retainer bows with rushed inelegance, then rises to a salute, and not a moment too soon. Okay, I've gained favor with the voices of Nerat and with the Scarlet Chorus. 93% towards tier 1. I also incurred some wrath. What about these guys? 70% to tier 1. Oh no, this is an actual person. No. Scarlet Chorus. I'm not gonna glare. Ah, why didn't you speak up sooner? My Lord Archons, the governor of Lethian's Crossing has finally arrived. I beg you to cease arguing for a moment. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I've traveled along to be here.
Ah, the fire starter has arrived. Welcome, welcome. Our agents tell us such lovely stories of what you did at the Vellum Citadel. Have you come bearing another fragment of Kairos' wrath in tow?
We already got that reference at the beginning. He likes us more. This guy... Oh! He's already at favor level 1, 50% to tier 2. That's interesting.
We were worried you'd never make it. So glad that Drostus' demise didn't cause further delay.
I get the distinct feeling that this guy is a lot more evil than Graven Ash. Again, even more favor. I'm already 84% towards tier 2. The Archon of Secrets turns his attention to you. The frozen rictus fashioned into his bronze mask greets you with a permanent smile. How did you know about Drastus? I only just came from Edgering Ruin. The Archon of Secrets chuckles softly, saying nothing.
The voices of Nerat has all manner of eyes and ears. It's safer than not to assume he's listening.
Okay. I come bearing an edict of Kairos. I don't think it's my place to actually piss them off with all the big ring.
Once again, you bring us support in a time of need. We fondly remember your service to the chorus in the taking of the bastard city. We knew back then you were destined for great things. But we had not anticipated you would be twice honored with the task of proclamation. So, do not keep us waiting. What is the Overlord's will?
That is referring back to our conquest decision. The bastard city, now the site of Tunan's court in the Tears, was taken the first year of the conquest in concerted effort between the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. The first and last battle wherein the two armies acted in relative harmony. So I have three options, and they all seem to be just a different wording. This is loyal servants. If you need, it seems you need some encouragement to work together, or in honor of incompetence and disarray. It's not really my place to do this. The Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall, which is the traditional throne room of the Queens of Apex. The throne stands directly beneath the mountain spire in the center of the citadel in the Valley of Vendrian's Well. Must hold Ascension's Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords. The 26th of every month or span is Kairos' Day. It is a day of holiday and rest for all within the Overlord's empire. Each Kairos Day, Kairos' Day is the last day of its span and is referred to by the span's name. Kairos' Day of Swords, therefore, is the 26th of the span of swords, or all in the Valleyshire parish. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment, its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed, the tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor. A nice effect.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still, and we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time, so we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
The Archon of Secrets passes his scepter from one hand to the next, chuckling softly, which with each toss. You hear the voices in your head. Watch him squirm. So many tears over replaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see blood echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. He'd used the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry and even made a breastplate out of his dead brother's ribcage, because that's how a real man deals with grief. I can say this because I have Subterfuge 20. They call it the Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful. Learn to work together or we're all doomed. Are you too daft? I mean, I do have a stake in this. I'm already at favor 2. And I'm also at 35% towards tier 1 with him. But I sort of really started off strong with him. I'm pretty sure that's gonna piss him off. I don't really have the authority to say something to these guys, I don't think. I mean, these are Archons. I'm gonna say it. Learn to work together or we're all doomed.
The Fatebinder is right. We're acting not as leaders, but as children. I've no time for your foolish japes and petty taunts. We should focus on the objective at hand, and that is taking the Mittani River, and then advancing to Ascension Hall and ending this edict.
Then enough talking, there's work to be done. I trust you're done acting the clown. Will have your horde ready to march with all haste. Looks like he hasn't really done much, has he? Well, then enough talking, there's work to be done. My lord, Barrick and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. Who's that? Though you only know him by name, Barrick is a commander of the Stone Shields and well regarded by the disfavored High Command. Disfavored, 88% towards tier 1, 53 towards tier 1. And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Thus, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
Yeah, he just wants to know my movements. I mean, might not be that he really needs her to have an eye on me, but I'm sure that's part of the plan. Okay.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
She has loyalty 1. The Voices of Nerat. The Archon twirls his scepter one last time, then taps the 5th eye on the shoulder, and the two depart. You hear the voices in your head. Suit yourself, Fatebinder. The more you ignore us. I wonder what would happen if I had actually coughed to acknowledge the voices that came out of the scepter.
The fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the Voices of Nerat is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end.
So it seems that is the main bone of contention. Tunon, the right hand of Kairos, is going to decide who actually gets all the lands that are being conquered. It's either going to be Graven Ash or the Voices of Nerat.
Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us.
Yeah, that would appear so.
You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. What of the Scarlet Chorus? How will they be helping? well, I could go for I would be honored to help, which I think is sort of my role. I mean, I've been sent here, I've read the edict. What can I do now? I cannot really force these two Archons to work together. All I can do is try to assist them. And the rest will have to be done by the edict. I don't think I'm powerful enough to move either of them. I would be honored to help. You gain favor with the disfavored. 95% towards tier 1. The Iron Marshal salutes Graven Ash, then turns to leave the tent. I will be at the training grounds, readying the soldiers. Find me there when you're ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I'm loath to mention it, the chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp due east. Seek him out, if you must. Okay. Now that you have delivered word of Kairos' edict to the armies, the time remaining until Kairos' Day of Swords appears next to the current date on the navigation bar. The terms of Kairos' edict must be met by this date, or everyone in Vendrian's well will die. This over here, 8 days to Kairos' Day of Swords. Yeah, the 26th, and we're at the 18th. Alright then, so in 8 days we're gonna die, if we don't do this. Kairos is indeed merciful and great and just and all that. So what do we do in role-playing games? We're gonna loot. Loot everything. We're gonna gain Iron Walker Gauntlets, heavy armor, iron. A lot more protection than my stuff, but half a second more recovery. And less precision. And what's that? Some agate. Let's take it. There's something. There's a lesser healing potion. Nice. And then we've got something over here. This battle report from Echo Corps Crossing blames the failure of the assault on the village on the Scarlet Chorus. Apparently their scouts failed to report critical intelligence about the enemy composition. I get the feeling that these guys are being sabotaged by the Archon of Secrets. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure that it is the case. Let's talk with him. The Archon of War lets out a long sigh as he surveys the maps and models displayed about his desk. He glances over his shoulder, making brief eye contact with you, furrows his brow, and turns back to his contemplation. The first time you proclaimed an edict, you gave the enemy a suspicious amount of time to ready themselves. I chalk it up to excessive mercy for backwoods people. But when the edict is against your kin, that order you follow to the letter. I'm gonna bow to him when we speak a moment. I tire of all this endless prattle. I am the Archon of War, and the Overlord has decreed battle. If you wish to help, go speak with my soldiers. Return when you've done something useful. The Archon of War pounds the haft of his maul against the ground. So I guess we've been dismissed. Alright then. Alright then. Don't be my friend then. Let's go outside. Yeah, we've been doing that already. Hold down the tab key to highlight important characters and objects you can interact with. Okay. These guys are pretty huge. Keep a civil tongue in camp. I guess that needs, that is a necessity. Who are you? Servius. Didn't we hear from him? Pretty sure we heard about Servius. There's the Iron Marshal. What do you mean you haven't heard from Commander Ironcore? Last we heard, Master Reddick said to keep an eye on the Northern East Pass, that he'd be coming through here. For the mercy of Kairos, we don't have the soldiers to send hunting down the trees for our own damn Earthshakers. Okay. Let's talk with him. Fatebinder Horath Drak, am I right? I'm Servius, Commander and 3rd generation disfavored. Specifically, I'm Servius the Younger. Some folks can't keep track. The rank says Commander, but lately I'm just organizing patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to Iron Marshal if you've got something official that needs discussing. What is it you need? I overheard you asking that Earthshaker where the reinforcements have gone. Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Radix, the head of the Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent spellslingers to help break the stalemate. I don't know what's holding up the arrival, and that worries me. If you were at all inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. I could lend a hand. Could you? I knew that Tunon's agents wouldn't fail us in a time of need. I'll mark the last known site of our Earthshaker reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. Why do you think the siege has delayed for so long? I have insufficient reputation. Well, shit, don't look at me. It's not like we had a standing army ready to tackle these idiots. The Legion is spread thin across the tiers. Tell me about yourself. Sorry, Binder. Even I know there's no law that can force me into small talk. If you want to make friends, bug someone else. The two armies haven't worked well together in years. Why do you think that is? Come on, Binder. Seems like asking why beasts stink. That is favored are only too eager to deliver Kairos' peace to the tiers, while the Scarlet Chorus only bring mayhem in their wake. You can tell me the Voices of Nerat has a plan, and I'll take your word for it. But the Chorus sure seems to blunder around, never moving with purpose as we do. I wonder if we've been fighting the same war, soldier. I've seen Ash yank his precious soldiers away from more battles than he's won. If you want to call that progress, be my guest. Unless we find a way to work as one, I fear that the Scarlet Chorus will step in front of Graven Ash's strategies at every turn. As far as I'm concerned, it seems like the Voices of Nerat is here to amuse himself, while the rest of us are here to do our job. Yeah, I concur. I think that's a pretty fair assessment of the situation. So we got to find some Earthshaker reinforcements. Let's have a look at the map. No, that just makes the map bigger. The world map. Scarlet Chorus Camp. And there's the northern clearing. Apex's forests give way to rockier mountain terrain as one approaches the eastern mountains. Disfavored Earthshakers reportedly travel to this location and may still be present. That's going to take me 10 hours just to march over there. Considering that we only have 8 times 24 hours, I'm going to try to approach this as carefully as possible. Talk to the people over here so that I know what I can do at the other locations. Or what I have to do at the other locations. Lest we die. Oh, there's Barrick, uninjured. That was the guy that was mentioned in the conversation before, right? Then we got Pentibor. Let's talk with this guy first. He looks like a merchant, actually. Hail to you, guardian of the law. The man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. If you have a few access rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the disfavored suffer a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and see if something interests you. Oh, I can say this because I'm a noble scion. And by the way, I switched off the option that showed everything, even the conversation options that which requirements we did not met. So now we only see what we can actually do. My lord father is familiar with trade. Might I inspect your stock? He hesitates, and then corrects with a welcoming smile. Of course. By all means, I have nothing to hide. He makes a show of removing a crate's lid and showing off his wares with an open palm. His supplies are perfectly ordinary. You see nothing out of place or unauthorized by his mercantile license. Ooh, I could try to steal something. It smells like petal grass in here. Have you been selling something you shouldn't? I'm not gonna lie, everything seems to be in order here. I'm glad to hear it. There isn't a temptation in the world that would steer me from the good favor of Tunon or Kairos. How did it come to work with the disfavored? Hard work and good suppliers. When Tunon's men came to my village, all the merchants were given different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. He smiles, hand on his hips. In Kairos' wisdom, my record must have been a good one, because I was given the right to trade in all manner of goods. Most importantly, arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kairos. Okay, let me see your wares. Pentibor rubs his hands, eyes alight. Let's see if we can find something you might like. Looks like he sells all the normal crap. Brotherhood Stout, what does that do? Doesn't. Oh yeah. Increases a soldier's hardiness against injury and physical damage, but comes at the cost of accuracy. So you're basically going into the fight drunk. Why not? Some grain, some water, some meat. The scroll for Sigil of Frost. The Frost Core, but we already have that. We already know that. We already know the Sigil. And camping supplies. We already have 4 of 6 camping supplies, so I don't think we need that one either. We're just going to leave him over there. Earth Shaker. Let's just save here. Who are you? Earth Shaker. Oh, they're not talking. They're not talking with me. Oh, fine then. Got no time to chitter. Too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pantyboy if you got rings to trade. Alright, what about you? You look important. Bitter Quip. Bitter Quip. Glory to the voices of Nerat! Projecting his salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the ground as you approach. Fatebinder Horath Drak, I presume. His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl. I am Bitter Quip. I am here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus. He's just an emissary. He's got no own favor. Bitter Quip looks at you impatiently. What is it like working with the disfavored? He scoffs, looking away from you for a moment before sniffing and returning his attention to you. Reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought one duel for her title? One? Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should bleed to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assignment here is also an insult, but one I will bear for the good of the chorus. Bitter Quip sniffs the air, smiling with one side of his mouth. If only to see with my own eyes the failure of the disfavored. That will be a fine day. What can you tell me of the Scarlet Chorus? The chorus is the future of the Tears. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension. Bitter Quip looks at you with a raised eyebrow. What in particular would you like to know? Tell me more about the voices of Nerat. He is supreme commander and public servant. He who sets us free but directs all. Bitter Quip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The voices of Nerat is the epitome of what each of us can be. A magician without equal, and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices and the chorus are one. Conquering, expanding, growing, changing. Always stronger. Bitter Quip pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the voices! How did you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The doctrine of strength speaks to me, and it answers its call. I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, Bitter Quip smiles, lifting an eyebrow, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. What is your role in the chorus? I am a blood chanter. My magic can turn the will of man and the tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the disfavored is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. Sounds as if you really like the voices of Nerat. Bitter Quip blinks several times and scowls, saying nothing. That's all for now. He nods as you depart. Alright then, just want to have a look through the camp before I move. This Earthshaker won't talk with me either, eh? No, they won't. There are some more camps. Can I talk with you? Just making my rounds. Keep an eye on those Scarlet Chorus over there. We've got a couple of tents. Let me see if I can interact with anything. Yeah, I can steal that stuff and gain a bronze war mace. Yeah, why not? Anything else? Yeah, there's something over there. I can just take that. Why are they not annoyed by that? Lesser Sigil of Strength. Oh, nice! That's great. That will allow me to increase my stuff. Just gonna save here. I'm sure the game would tell me if that is stealing. I can just run around and take things, eh? Stone shield armor. Let's take it. Anything else? Can I have a look at that? The table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed. The disfavored insignia has been violently defaced. Carefully skinned game hangs from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Okay, it doesn't look like it's going too great in this camp. These guys are missing supplies and a lot of other stuff. Okay, there's something to take. I can't scroll up further. What's that? Water. Nice. There's Lucia. But yeah, it doesn't look like the map extends any further towards that direction. I don't think. Nope. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. Calm down. Move it. A meager portion of game simmers in the large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever creature they've decided to cook. There are some armors. There's Lucia and Marcus. Gonna take that one. Looks like I won't be able to actually finish going through the camp, so I guess I'm gonna do that next episode. All I want to do now is have a look at the scroll that I found. Look at everything. Sigil of Strength. This scroll contains a magical accent which slightly increases the strength of a spell. Which is pretty great. How is our law? We're at 54, so let's just have a look at our spells over here. So the Charge Fist. I'm gonna give that the Intensity Sigil. Oh, so these two accents cannot be used with that one. No, reset. So, all right then. We're gonna give you the Intensity Sigil as well. That requires 45 law already. 17 to 25, 14 to 21. Yeah, that is quite an upgrade. So let's update that one. The Rhyme Spike. That is a Throne Frost thingy. So let's see. Select Intensity. That's going to up the skill required to 60. That's not good. That's not good. I could actually just try to remove the range. Go for the strength instead. I think that's good. Doing more damage. The range is not too bad on these guys. 8 meters push, that would need the most range. And then we got the Fireball. Definitely wanna go up over here. I'm gonna remove that one, the range one. Let's update that. And then we got that one, the Electric Jolt. I'm gonna remove that one as well and go for more strength. So 17 to 30 shock. That is by far our strongest weapon. Let's just update that one. So we gained a bunch of stuff. We collected a bunch of stuff. What's that? Off in the distance you pick up the typical clamor of a military camp. The clang of sparring steel, the rumble of stomping feet, and hushed murmurs emanating behind closed tents. So it's just basically telling me it's going a long way in that direction and there's nothing more interesting over there. For now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you didn't, tell me why in the comments so I can improve. And if you want to see more of this series in the future, please consider subscribing. Next time we will sort of finishing looking through this camp, taking all the jobs that we can take to basically help the disfavored, and then I think we'll move over to the Scarlet Chorus camp. Hope you join me for that. Thanks and bye bye.